All right, we're live here in Doomsday's Krypt once again. I think it's a weekend of new filmmakers, young filmmakers. I'm joined by Flash Tainment, if I'm
Yes,
saying that right.
Entertainment
My buddy
Productions.
Maurice McCoy. A few of you guys must know him from the Doomsday's Krypt group. He's got a film coming out, our Indiegogo project ready to get launched, the Multiverse of Jason. And that sounds pretty
Absolutely. And I love
interesting. Interesting. And we're also joined by some of the cast. So why don't you guys all introduce yourselves?
Hi, my name's Danielle Patton. I play Kyle Duke, and I'm also the co-director, editor, and color correctionist for the project.
Absolutely. There we go. Now on the bottom left hand, we have Mr.
All right,
Strong.
my headset. Sorry, my headset was off. My name is Central Strong. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, and I play. I'm trying to remember his name, but
J. Sean Evans.
Jason Evans. I was going to say Jason Evans, but Jason Evans.
And we got one more person. I'm going to try to get down to him here and bring him back into the show. We got Joe here. Introduce yourself.
Hey, my name is Joe, and I am playing Monty Montgomery. How you guys doing?
Doing well.
Absolutely, Mr. Joe. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Doomsday's Krypt YouTube channel, StreamYard, and live Facebook. Oh, we have Steve Merlo coming. Hi, Steve.
Yeah,
Hey,
Steve
Steve.
Merlo, the Sawyer Massacre, just hit 70K, I think, now on YouTube.
Yeah.
Wow.
So big congrats to my dude, Steve Merlo. So welcome, Maurice. You've been talking about this film with me a little bit on Facebook. You had a plan for a movie coming up, and you were asking me a few questions, and there you go. You've just been grinding, hustling, and here you go. You got yourself a full cast, name for the movie, and kind of ready to rock and roll. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about the Multiverse of Jason? It's pretty self-explanatory, but tell them which Jasons are involved and what inspired you to write this.
Okay, so I'm going to start from the beginning. So what inspired me to come up with this unique idea of a fan film for Friday the 13th is because, for me, I am a huge Marvel and DC fan, but more so Marvel. I'm sorry for any DC fans that may be watching right now. But it inspired me because, with the latest movie that just came out, the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, and switching over to DC, there was the Flashpoint Paradox few episodes that aired, I believe 2019, 2020, and the whole multiverse idea stood out to me. Like, what if there was a world similar to how there's different parallel universes and there's different Jasons and different iterations of these same characters in different dimensions, different universes. So it brought me to think about it. Hey, let's do a multiverse theme for a horror film. So the first horror film I thought about was Friday the 13th, because there's different ways how I can play with that, manipulate it and twist it and pull certain Jasons from different timelines into my timeline or into my universe. So that brings me to the conclusion of how did I get these certain Jasons that I have. So I have one of my actors, Michael Close. He is playing Jason Voorhees from Part 3. And then I have Nick O'Brien, who is playing the New Blood Jason. And I want to introduce, very new to everybody, the Jason who has never been seen before on screen. That is Mr. Andrew Schultz, who is playing Retro Jason. Now, for Retro Jason, some of you guys may have seen him in the video game or in movie or Google posters or just cartoon art throughout the internet.
The NECA figure was pretty hot. That kind of got it back in the video game. I think people like the new video game, new Friday the 13th.
See, I have not played that way yet, but I will definitely try to get my hands on it for sure.
It's a good game. Solid game.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
It definitely has that 80s slasher vibe to it. But yeah,
there is some fun facts about my version of Retro Jason on how he comes to life in my film. But I'm not gonna spoil it too soon. Just know he's gonna have a unique way on how he comes into this film.
well, it's like with the multiverse, there's like you said, there's a lot you can really kind of play around with if you have a way to bring them all together, and that could be pretty. One Jason's pretty tough to handle. So now you're gonna have three to go at it. Now are they gonna be battling? You got pretty much a game Jason. You got the living Jason, and you got zombie Jason. So you got three. Three of the Jasons really: human, video game, and zombie Jason.
Absolutely, and I've been asked a lot. How are you going to tie in each of their stories? Like, what are these three Jasons doing in one universe? So to answer that question, it goes back to Peter Anthony's production of Roseblood. So there's a bit of a tie-in to Roseblood when Rose opened up that portal when she conjured up Michael and Jason into the room. So, in doing so, by her opening up that portal, she also opened up a wide range of parallel universes that I'm going to run with. So, how I have two Jasons coming to my universe, and then that'll be also the birth of my universe's Jason.
Oh, so you're gonna have there's gonna be four then?
No, it's still three. We have the
but your universe is Jason. I didn't know if there was like an extra Jason you were gonna invent for your universe.
Oh no. So my Jason, he's a how can I put this? He's a Roy in my universe.
Hey, I'm a Part 5 Jason fan. I know a lot of people aren't a big Friday the 13th Part 5 fan, but I am. I'm a big fan of Friday the 13th Part 5. So I'm glad you're giving that some love.
Yeah, I'm paying a little homage to, Part 5 because I like the way how Roy was the copycat, so you really didn't have Jason in that at all. So for my version, I'm going to have Retro Jason comes in. Well, Andrew, since he's playing Retro Jason, comes in as a regular guy. And he's on a college hockey team, and the hockey mascot is the Blue Devil. So they're using the blue hockey mask because he's a goalie. And there's an accident that happens where his girlfriend in the film, she dies in a car crash, and he's laying there in a coma. And then once he wakes up, he realizes, oh, my girlfriend is dead. You. I don't know if it allowed to swear on here, but
yeah, you're good.
You're
good. It's encouraged.
You're my girlfriend. Now I'm gonna come back and I want revenge.
So he's got the revenge factor can always play in, even when there's a little paranormal zombie Jason type deal. We lost one. He went to the other to the multiverse. He's checking it out he'll be back in a minute. I'm sure. Well, that's pretty cool. You're tying them all in, man. Is it going to be a full-length film are you planning on, or are you planning on doing a short film where it's kind of just a battle royale, a little bit obviously you're influenced by comic books, Marvel over DC, you say, so the multiverse kind of kicks in with that. Are you going to use that kind of I'm guessing you're going to use a lot of your comic influence to writing the story, which I think is a great way to go for a fan film.
It's definitely a lot of comic influence because part of my film is also fantasy outside of it being horror. So the fantasy part comes in with certain characters in particular. I have one character in particular who is playing a like a anime character. So there's a reference from Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors, Dream Child, Dream Master. That entire 3-part saga right there. Where my character Mila Santana, she's one of the Elm Street children who also has powers.
So you might introduce the dream world a little bit in there, huh?
So there's a few Easter eggs from Dreamworld also included with in my film, and actually she's not the only character from Elm Street. I have another character from Elm Street, but I want to introduce him, but he's not coming into this interview today. But his name in the film is Detective Eric Hobbs. And he's like I said, he's a detective for Wessex County Police Department, and he's from Elm Street. So we have two people from Elm Street in this film, which is why we have a tie-in with the Dream Warriors, the whole Dream saga in Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's not a bad saga right there. I always love part 3, 4, and 5. For my own personal reasons, yeah. 3 is it's definitely my favorite out of them, but 4 I love, 5 I love. I mean, I love the whole trilogy of them. Freddy's Revenge, not so much, or Freddy's Dead, not so much. but it was still cool seeing Robert Englund, so I'm not going to bash that one too much. But yeah, man.
Fun fact, but true fact. You know, we had the Days of the Dead here last month, and I ran into Ken Sagos.
Yeah.
And I told him about the production, about what I was doing. And he was like, are you going to have a guy like me in your film? Is there going to be somebody who's younger than me playing me? I said I will pay tribute to it. And once the film is ready, you will probably be amongst the first to probably see the film.
Yeah, Ken's a great guy. I like Ken a lot. I've met him. Yeah, super cool dude. Super cool. One of my all-time favorite characters in any of horror movies. So, yes, very cool dude. Really down to earth. Big props to him on his film. So, he did an independent film. So we got to give him some love. But that's cool. You got to talk to him. Ken's really supportive of the fans and the community. So that's great. You were able to talk to him, let him know about your film, and got his blessing in its own way.
I did. I also have I had Heather's. I also talked to her when I was at Days of the Dead, and I also talked to Amanda. Sorry if I butcher her name. Amanda Wise.
I'm not sure on her last name. I think it's Wise. I think it's how you pronounce it. I screw up with last names, so do not ask me. I've stuck to learning, going, hey, and letting people introduce themselves so I don't butcher their name.
Yeah, so I really spoke with those 3 from there. And also the young girl who was in the first part of the Dream Warriors. Or was it part 2? I think it was part 2. Where the one who had the glasses with the glasses, the young black girl.
Yeah. Oh, Toy Newark.
Toy, yes. Oh, I'm so sorry, Toy. Yes.
Part 4.
I also met her, and there's another character in my film who's not in the chat for tonight, who has an exact she's acting just like how Toy acted in the film. So, once I really get a rock and roll with this film, and I'm also able to get it out there, there's a big homage to the entire Dream saga and the characters that was in that film, so they can also be in my film. It's okay, Nick. It's all right. We understand.
Oh, so I was going to ask you. So, when are you planning on launching the Indiegogo? I imagine you're going Indiegogo and crowdfunding for this.
So, any plans? We will definitely be doing an Indiegogo campaign, but we will not be launching it until May because we have to shoot. We're gonna shoot our trailer in April, and we're gonna push for a strong Indiegogo release May 27th, 2023.
That's cool. Gives you a little breathing room. Get it right. Do it the way you want to get it done, especially that trailer, because that's going to capture a lot of people's interest.
And I thought about doing. I was originally going to do it within an earlier year of next year, but due to the fact how we're finna enter the winter season here in Chicago. So I'm not doing no filming at all. Maybe bits and pieces, but no dramatic filming at all because I want to make sure my production is, safe and sound throughout the winter season. Nobody's coming out in the snow or the hail, any of the winter activities at all.
But that Windy City, Hawks will be flying and going. You'll be losing them when they get blown off of Jason's face. How did Jason get unmasked? Well, he was in Chicago, got blown right off his face.
Yeah, that part. And it's funny. And it's funny because, for filming, I've been talking with my cast and crew, letting them know, hey, when we do start filming, I found a few camp locations out in Wisconsin. I'm still in cahoots with on trying to get, permission from this camp or for this camp. If they'll give us the say so to film on their property.
That'll be cool. Hopefully they give you all the okay. I think if you come to them right and you let them know that you're not going to make a huge mess there, and anything you do, you clean up after. I think a lot of camps like that, they kind of aware with the indie community and these fan films that are going on. So. And most of the fan films have left these people with really good taste in their mouth, where it's like, okay, great, yeah, sure, do it. So hopefully that works for you. I'm rooting for it. So you got a big cast already. So how'd you find your cast? Let's talk about our guests here: Joe, Strong, Danielle, and you got plenty more. I know Laura Ellen Wilson. I've had her on the show about a year or so ago from the UK. You got her playing a part. So. Go ahead and explain how you found all your cast here.
So a lot of my cast, they are Chicago local talent, because I want to keep it as much in house as I can, because trying to get cast from all of the different 51, 52 states or across seas, it's a little far fetched trying to get everybody together from all different states. So having them here in Chicago with local talent, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to manage, especially when it comes to the rehearsals, the in-person rehearsals that we're going to be doing. Now, granted, I do have a few talent who are outside of Illinois or outside within the 51 states or 52 states, however many it is, this part of the United States now. Also including Laura, since she is from cross seas. So getting all of them together was no piece of cake. It was a extreme hassle with a few, but we're also working out those kinks and getting everybody on one accord. One band, one sound.
One band, one sound.
Mike C's excited. He's playing part 3 Jason. He's got his fingers crossed on doing a door crashing through scene. If you're playing Jason, you always want to be crashing through a door if you can.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of crashing, a lot of burning, a lot of running, a lot of physicality to this film. Doing this kind of film, we all know that it's physically demanding. So within the process, between now and before we actually start filming in August of 2023, I'm going to have my cast members go through acting lessons and physical fitness, making sure everybody's in shape and know exactly what they're doing when it comes to film, because it's, like I said, it's physically demanding. I want to make sure everybody's in the right mindset to do stunts. If not, like I told my cast, I'm looking to hire a professional stunt woman, stunt man to help us to get these stunts together so they could be their best versions of themselves. Well, not themselves, be the best version of their characters on screen.
That's a wise move. That's an important move because, like you said, conditioning is huge in films like this, and it shows on screen if you're not. So, is this a lot of your guys' first roles? Like Danielle, is this one of your first roles, or have you been in anything else that we know of?
I started acting in March. I'm mostly a director myself, so this could be my first major role. I've done a couple extra scenes for a couple big movies that are coming out, but I mostly do directing and color correction and editing. So I'm definitely excited to work with everyone. And I'm actually in Vegas, so they're gonna fly me out, and we're gonna do the trailer in April, and it's gonna be really fun. I'm super excited.
Always good, Maurice, to have somebody with that kind of experience on the set for you too.
So So having Danielle on the set with me, like me and Danielle, we've been talking for a little over a year, if I'm not mistaken, about this
Yeah, about.
production. And having her with us, she's also gonna, help me. Like I said, I'm a first time independent director on my own because I've been part of other productions. But doing this first production, she's gonna help me, show me things that I don't know. I'm learning from her. She's learning from me. Mainly me learning from her. But it's all, something fun, original that I want to do. And having her by my side, we're gonna help each other as La Familia, as family, to achieve the goals that we both want for our productions.
So, Joe, how did you get cast? And have you been acting for a little bit, and or is this your first role? Or tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I mean, I've been acting for a couple of years now. It's something that I've always wanted to do, and I've always wanted to take it serious. And I wish I would have took it more serious back in the day, like when I was in high school and stuff. But back when I was in high school, you would want to take drama classes or take acting classes, but you're kind of afraid of what people may say about you. That I'm back from that era. You know what I'm saying? I'm worried about getting bullied, or this guy, he's not a tough guy because he's in drama class, or acting classes or anything. So I didn't do it back then, but it's something that I always wanted to do. But I've been actually doing it for a couple of years now. I have a couple of projects that I've done. Mostly they're all coming out in next year. So next year is going to be a big year for me shooting this film and also promoting a couple of my other films that I've done. I'm in a series that we just finished wrapping on probably about, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago. Wrapped on another short film that I did. It's called The Prowler. That's coming out next year. So I have a couple things lined up, but this film is what I'm probably most excited for. It's something new for me because I've always wanted to be in a horror movie because I love horror since I was little. I love it a lot. So being in something like this is a dream come true for me. So I'm very excited about what this has in store for all of us.
Congratulations, man, and best of luck with all these films that are coming out for you. That's awesome to hear. You got a big 2023 plan.
Yeah,
I hear you though. Hindsight's 2020. There's a lot I wish I did.
Yeah,
a lot more than high school years ago. Probably two times going through high school now.
yeah.
But Strong, what's up with you, Sensual Strong? How is this your first film, or have you been acting for a little bit? Tell us a little bit about you.
This is actually my second film. I was in a short film. They actually just got done filming in September. I was in a short film. It was all called My House, My Rules. It was more like a comedy, well, cultural film, more for African Americans and growing up in like a poverty area. I'm also a model. I've been modeling since 2020. I only been acting since I want to say the beginning of this year in 2022. This, but I've done fashion shows. I've been to Kansas and done fashion shows down there. I've been to Michigan, Wisconsin, and I even done a couple of modeling shoots in Indiana, that's where I stay at right now, but it's not far from Chicago. But this will be my second film. I'm actually excited. A couple years ago, well, many years ago, I wrote a biography over Jason Voorhees. Just gathered a bunch of information that I found about him, and I wrote a pretty descriptive biography over him. I could send. He could. Maurice has it. He could probably send it to you.
Well, that's really cool that you're getting into it. This is something. I mean, you're a fairly young guy, so you're starting off it the right way. I know Joe's probably. It'll be good to have Joe on the set with you, encouraging you, since he's got a little experience now. You're getting experience with the modeling and the movies, and you did a short, but now you're going to be doing a full length
I'm a,
movie, and you
no,
got a whole bunch of. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just agreeing with you. This is like my first
Oh,
big film ever.
yeah, no, I think it's really exciting time for a lot of these indie and fan films, and there's a lot of talent in the community of having Laura Ellen Wilson from the UK. She's been acting for a while. She's fantastic. So nice score on her getting her in the film. And yeah, I'm a big fan of her work. And with Danielle having the experience as a director and being on the project with you, and I know you have a great imagination, Maurice. So you're working with some great guys there, Sensual Strong. You got a good list. And I was looking at some of the other casts you have with the email you sent. So you got quite a few casts. You got a big cast, Maurice.
Have a big cast, and to be honest, John, that's not even half of them.
A lot of cannon fodder, huh?
Yes.
You got 3 Jasons. You got to triple that kill up. You know, you got to triple it up.
Oh, I believe with the right push, a lot of them will have that Kane Hodder feel to their Jason. Long as they get the aneurysms and the walk and emotions right, they will be on point. But there's Mike. For Mike, who literally just commented. So for Michael, his biggest thing, he's playing part 3 Jason. His biggest influence is Ted White. Rest in peace to the legend. So we're gonna do a tribute to Ted also in the end credits of our film, and we're gonna train Mike up so he can have all the right movements and the mannerisms that he wants as to paying homage to Ted.
Nice. Yeah, Ted White was a legend. He was one of my favorites. Brooker, I think, is my favorite just because he was like the first with the mask. So I'm a huge Brooker fan, but Ted White, a lot of people's favorite, and can't go wrong there. And of course, CJ Graham from Part 6, a huge fan of. And Kane Hodder. I'm a fan of all of them. I think all the Jasons were great in their own way. But are you guys all Friday 13th fans? Danielle, are you a Friday 13th fan, or is this something?
Yeah, I love scary movies. I love horror movies. I love Friday the 13th, Scream, anything, all that.
Well, Joe, you already said you're a huge horror fan anyway, so Friday 13th's got to be there.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to let you, being a horror fan, Michael Myers, Jason, Ghostface, let's go Pennywise, Freddy, Leatherface. What's your favorite franchise?
Freddy. The Nightmare on Elm Street is probably my favorite, just for the nostalgic feel of it, and it scared me so much when I was younger. I can tell you somebody who scared me the most out of everybody, and it was probably Leprechaun. He scared me the most just because.
That is a first, honestly. I haven't heard somebody say, you know what, the scariest one for me was Leprechaun. So that is a first.
People don't remember him. Yeah.
I surprisingly do.
I remember Leprechaun well. I enjoy them films. Jennifer Aniston's first role in Part 1.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely.
Yeah.
And I love that performance that she brought to the franchise, starting off as the leading woman in that film. She was a boss for that one.
Yeah, she's still a boss. I love me some Jennifer Aniston. I can't lie. She's one of my favorites for sure.
Now, here's the fun fact for you, John. So you said which horror series is my favorite. So you see now I'm doing Friday the 13th first, but my favorite horror franchise happens to be Halloween.
Yeah, that's mine too.
Mine happens to be Halloween, and I can relate to the interview that you had the other day with the Jaja. So my favorite film is Halloween Resurrection.
Really? Wow,
Yes.
that it's 2 people in a row. I'm a Halloween 78 guy. I'm old school like that. Halloween 1, 2, and Halloween 4. You put those 3 movies together as a timeline I'm good with. And I even love Part 5 and 6. I love watching it. But as far as story-wise goes, I love those 3 films together. But hey, a lot of people, I think it's because of your age group, you and Jaja. You related to that movie more than somebody like me, because it was kind of like the MTV days with the reality TV, and I think it connected more with you, where I was like, I can't stand this reality TV stuff even back then. But I can understand where somebody in your guys' age group was like, yeah, we're young guys. Now, is Chef going to make an appearance in this film? You did that cosplay. Chef was awesome. My artist Michael Coates like, oh, the dude dressed like Chef, man, that was awesome, because we're big South Park fans.
So I am retiring Chef cosplay for at least 6 months. So yeah, I'm hanging up the chef cosplay for a while now. Yeah, like after this last convention that I was just at for anime convention, Con Out Delete. Yeah, I'm hanging that up for now because I'm ready to move on with a new.
Well, after that one, you could do a chef slasher. You just go around chopping people up with a spatula. Let's see if Joe made it back. Because nope, Joe's still not back yet. I think he's having some connection issues. But I'll keep my eye out if you come back in, Joe. What about you, Danielle? What's your favorite horror movie franchise? Since we've asked everybody else.
I like it. I like Pennywise. Chapter 2 is probably my favorite, the newest one. I did like a whole little PowerPoint for college about it, all the different colors and what they mean and the aesthetics and all that and how it relates to the film. And I just like it. It's probably my favorite.
That's my dad's favorite is Pennywise.
Yeah.
I got a Pennywise animatronic that we take to conventions, and my dad will just sit next to it, and it'll scare the shit out of people because it jumps up. It's just one of those spirit ones, and oh man, he'll just sit with that thing going all day long and just love it. Just love it. So
yeah, the original I watched with my dad, and that's how I got into horror movies, and then I kind of been hooked on it ever since.
Yeah. Well, I watched the original series back in the day, and it was an event back when we were kids, like me and my sisters and my family, that have like the ABC Sunday night movies, CBS series, and the original. It was so scary, and I'm different. I like part one of the new movie, and like the first part, I liked when they were kids better. I found like it was more scary. But when it got to adults, it was cool, but there was just no way to really film the end properly, where it was just effective for me. So that's the problem I had with that. But as kids, I could kind of relate as it being scary, especially when I was a kid watching the first one with Tim Curry. But
definitely. The casting was really good though for part 2 for the kids and then the adults. It was really spot on.
It was the same thing in the original one. You had Judd Nelson, or not Judd Nelson, Judge Reinhold. You had John Ritter. You had just a slew of awesome talent. And in the new one, you had a slew of talent as well. So as adults, I think it might have the best cast ever of adults in both of those films, the original and the remake. But I think Joe made it back. Let's get Joe back in here.
The original that stole it for me because having Tim Curry, he not to say that since he was the original, he was the best, but it was Tim Curry who gave me nightmares my very first time watching it. I believe I was maybe 6 or 7 when I watched it. When I shouldn't have watched it. But he gave me nightmares for days. I think it was the twist and the laugh and his gesture. Like I wasn't scared of clowns. I'm never scared of clowns. But with him, it was something completely different that made me kind of fear clowns or not wanting to go to the circus or not wanting to go by the sewers or not want to hold a red balloon. I'm like, okay, I'm good.
All right, I'm just looking at this Christopher Pedroza. I'm not sure if he's trolling or he's serious. Scared of her own shadow. He sounds 12. He's from the block.
Oh, yeah, he's a troll.
Okay. Yeah. I was like, wait a second. Okay. I was just confused with his comment. It's almost like, all right. I didn't know if it was one of your guys' friends bugging the crap out of you or what. So I just figured I'd ask.
He has a crush on Danielle.
I guess so.
About her.
Let's see. New Blood Jason here. Can't wait to swing sleeping bags against trees. That's what I'm talking about. Kane Hodder made that so good.
Biggest Kane Hodder fan. And for Nick, it's going to take a lot more work for Nick to really embody Kane Hodder how he wants to. So I'm going to work with him a lot because, I want him to be the absolute best version of Kane Hodder, the best version he can in the fan film. Also, with doing so, there's another actor who played a version of Kane Hodder. Of course, we all know, you know him, John. I know him. He's like the Kane Hodder of the Friday the 13th fan film franchise, Jason Brooks, the immortal Jason Brooks. So
Incredible.
I take a lot to what I see within Jason and what I see in Kane, and I'm trying to also implement that in Nick to show him, hey, these are, since he's saying Kane is your biggest inspiration, but also let Jason Brooks be your inspiration, because those are the two. Before there's Jason, then there's Kane, and then there's Nick. I'm like, Nick, if you want to be so big like Kane, also study the movements of Kane, embody the aneurysm of Kane, and also study the Vengeance fan films and the Roseblood fan film, because those both have Jason Brooks in it. And like I said, to me, Jason Brooks is definitely the embodiment of Kane Hodder, and he's the king of the Friday the 13th fan films. Not to say that there's not the other actors who played Jason Voorhees in the films, but for me, it was the way how I specifically loved the way how Jason really brought it to the screen. He brought it from A through Z, 1 through a million. Top for me, there was the top notch performance, and
he's got the most experience for sure. He's got the most experience as Jason for sure. A lot of it's his breathing too. Like he'll do the shoulder breathe, and that has a lot to do with Kane Hodder's way.
Yeah. So Nick, we got some work to do, buddy, and we have plenty of time to do it.
Yeah, I was lucky to meet Kane at Scarefest. What a cool dude. Yeah, and he's always one of those guys. If you watch some of the behind the scenes stuff, you can learn a lot of techniques from him. A lot of them. The breathing is huge. Like he'll even tell you the shoulders with the breathing.
I'm glad I didn't get that chance to do that at all. I wanted to have a conversation with him when he was at Days of the Dead, but he would his lines are always so packed at conventions. But he recognized me when I had the chef cosplay on. I'm not gonna lie about that one. So that was the highlight of the whole convention of Days of the Dead. He was like, "Hey, you're a chef. Come here. What are you cooking?" So I brought him a little snack that I had with me at that particular time. I was like, he said the famous line, "Hey, chef, what about the chocolate salty balls?" I'm like, I couldn't do nothing but laugh at that moment. And it was just like so perfect. I'm like, I have to get. He gave me. I got the autograph from him, and I didn't have to come out of pocket for it. I also know I was gonna pay, but he was like, "This is on the house."
I was lucky to meet him at Scarefest because I didn't have time when I'm doing a table. I missed a lot of guests I want to meet, and I was just about done packing up, and he was sitting at his table like all the guests, everybody was gone, and he was still there. We talked to him for like 15, 20 minutes after. He was super cool, man. Very cool guy. But like you said, he's usually packed with his lines, and I just don't have time to sit for 45 minutes. But I just was lucky enough to catch him. I didn't think I would. And definitely very cool.
Yeah, I love that kind of experience.
It's addiction. It's addictive, man.
So I know I have. I want to go back to when I was telling you about my people who I have from Elm Street. In particular, the one character, Mila Santana, and when I say she's gonna rock the socks off for this film, she starts off the film. She starts off my universe in the film right after we come from Peter's universe. For me, I call all my universes are different. So for the first universe that I have in the film, we're starting off with 87. So I call that universe Earth JV 87. So that's the first universe that I have in the film. And then the second one I have in the film, which is part 3 Jason, that is Earth JV 82, which that's when part 3 came out. And my universe is Earth JV 23. So mine takes place in present day, which will be 2023 when we are filming the film.
Sorry, I was putting that one dude in a timeout. Put him in a timeout. The troll.
Oh yeah, he's
But
trolling. Got to go.
yeah, I didn't know if it's at first. I was like, okay, it's somebody you might know. Yeah, asked a great question. I got a dad. Yes, I wasn't born a petri dish. I was luckily a mom and a dad. It was very nice, so I can answer his question. But yeah, man, I'm excited for this film and with the multiverse. I think it's a really cool concept, and like we talked already, you got some great cast members up here, and you got a stack member. I was going through, like, you sent me that stuff, and I'm like, Jesus, how many people are in this film? Because you got a lot, you do, and you said there's a lot more to come. So it's going to be a bloodbath, I'm guessing. You might as well just call it Multiverse of Jason, just a total bloodbath. People be swimming in blood pools.
So one the reason why I have it this way, and it's gonna be a huge cast. So the one scene in my film, which is towards the end, which is the rave scene at Camp Crystal Lake. So the counselors, they're having a party to celebrate the official opening of Camp Crystal Lake. So they throw a big rave party, inviting all of their college friends, inviting the townsfolk, and what do you know? We have all this ruckus at Camp Crystal Lake. Now it's time for all of the Jasons to lay bodies on the ground.
Technical difficulties.
I'm interested to see the direction you go with it, because there is a lot of story you could, in a fan film direction, and it being its own multiverse, its own really Maurice universe, we'll call it. But there's a lot you could do with it. You got a lot of cannon fodder, and you could have some pretty good battles between some Jasons too, if you decide to go that direction.
So I'm going to give you another Easter egg that I'm going to be throwing in the film. So by having 3 Jasons in this particular film, I am paying not only 2 homage scenes to Freddy versus Jason, because I do have a few scenes dedicated to Freddy versus Jason, but in particular for the rave scene, for the way I'm paying homage to Freddy versus Jason is having all 3 of my Jasons battle toe to toe for dominance over Camp Crystal Lake.
Can only be one, almost a Highlander scenario.
There will only be one.
Who will be left standing? That's the important question right now. I guess we're gonna have to watch the film to find out.
Oh, I know the answer, but I will not reveal that.
I'm sure you do. I should hope so. But yeah, I think that's really cool. I mean, I'm guessing there'll be a showdown at the end of the three Jasons, and that should be very interesting. Maybe Freddy will make a cameo and referee. You ready? Let's get it on. And ready to throw down.
With having 3 Jasons, my biggest inspiration for that is to have, of course, the villain. Well, I'm not gonna say the villain, the protagonist, who will try his and her best to bring back their perspective Jasons back to their time and their era. So by me saying that, in my film I have time bounty hunters, and those bounty hunters happens to be Mr. Creighton Duke, and in my universe, Miss Kyle Duke.
Oh, nice. So you've got to bring the Duke. The Duke's been a popular character in these fan films, and there's been some great guys playing the Duke. I got to give a lot of props. There's been some really good Duke actors coming in and pulling off the part well. Yeah, the Duke and yeah. So you're bringing in the Duke. Got to have the Duke. I think it's a fan favorite now.
Absolutely. And it's funny because the Duke, in the timeline that he comes into, he doesn't know that he has a daughter out there. We didn't know in the film, in the film franchise, if he had any kids. Of course, Jason Goes to Hell. We didn't know if he did, But in my universe, I make it seem like, he has a kid, but he never knew about who his child was. So by her being in my reality, she comes looking for not only to bring back Jason to her timeline, but to also connect with her father. Hey, I'm your daughter, and I'm just like you. I'll train to be a bounty hunter like you. So let's go bring these Jasons back before they cause mayhem in this reality.
So at least you got somebody who's going to be battling Jasons from behind the scenes. He's got a little bit of experience fighting Jason, which I think is important for the script, the way you're explaining it. So it's good that Duke's there because he knows how to handle that business.
Oh,
and now a daughter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead. I think he's grown on me too. He's definitely my favorite part of Part 8. I think it's the character out of all the Friday 13th, and there's been some really good characters in there. That just stands out with fans as just a total fan favorite, and it's really not one of the most popular films, but one of the most popular characters for the fans, which is ironic if you ask me.
And you tipped the icing on where I was going with that. So a lot of people do not agree with the way how Adam Marcus brought his vision to Jason Goes to Hell, but I love it because it introduces not only a bounty hunter who's going after Jason, but also a connection to an extended family that we never knew that Jason had. So we have Diana Kimball, Jessica Kimball, Steve Freeman, and Stephanie. So I'm like, I was trying to figure out when I was watching the film. I watched the film a few weeks ago, and I was thinking in my head, how can I twist all of this into my version? So for me, I'm focusing on not only am I focusing on the Duke, I'm giving him a backstory on a possible life that he could have had before he got older and really got to the whole bounty hunting and going after Jason, going after any antagonist or any killer. So my version of Creating Duke, he has a whole background that's going to be talked about in the film from the different universes. And then there's also my character, Big Ben, Benjamin Big Ben Christie. Now we know stories of the Christies. We know a few background of who they are, why they are. So for me, I am the adopted son of the Christies. So I want to pay a little homage to giving a story to the Christies. I don't know. I've talked over about it with Peter Anthony as well, because he had a slight idea on what he wanted to do on telling a story about the Christies. So I took a little inspiration from that. I'm like, I want to tell it, give it a little backstory on having, not only just them, but I'm paying homage. I'm giving it to me. Oh, I'm all over the place right now.
That's cool. I'm enjoying it.
Ben Christie, he's a modern guy who didn't know that he had royalties with the land that his foster parents left behind. He didn't know about it at all until the crooked mayor of Wessex County told him, hey, these are your parents. This is what they did. This is what they had. And now you are entitled to this land. Go explore, go reopen, and have fun. So this crooked mayor, he's setting up this kid and his friends for manslaughter.
You got a story going. It's not just going to be a Jason battlefield in a sense. It's going to have you got a story that's going to kind of build around it, which I think is really cool. I definitely think that's a good way to go instead of just, all right, on this corner here we got Jason Part 3, we got Jason Part 6, we got you got some thought behind it. We got retro Jason, but you got a story that you're trying to tell too, which I admire and definitely appreciate it. I know the fans will appreciate that too.
I mean, you figure by doing a feature film where I'm looking at about an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes long, there's enough time frame to introduce the characters I'm introducing with their backstories and all of the side character supporting stories that's going to come along with that. So we're dealing with reopening the Crystal Lake. We're also dealing with the time bounty hunters coming through time to prevent Jason from causing mayhem. And then we have the absolute introduction of I'm not gonna say he's original, of an on-screen, never before seen on-screen version of Jason. So it's Pandora's box on what's really going to happen in this film. And it's going to be a fucking blood bath for this production.
We need more blood. For bringing that on.
You're probably looking at about a lot of.
Just get a fire hose. Get a fire hose and just start spraying it down.
So speaking about blood, so I know I have my special effects makeup artist, Hilario Rodriguez. He is my leading department of the makeup department, special effects makeup department. So there's going to be a lot of conjuring of blood for this film, making all of the blood and all of the prosthetics. He's going to handle a lot of that. So I'm also, not only am I also building up, my cast, I'm also building up my crew, because it's not only going to be a one-man show, because we have a lot of moving parts, a lot of cast. So I am also trying to have, teams helping out in collaboration with each other so we can all pull off this wonderful, magnificent vision that I have in this thick skull of mine.
I'm interested to see how you do it because you got a lot of story. You got a lot going on to put it in one movie. It almost feels like you could probably get 3 movies out of it.
It was originally supposed to be 3 because I actually started on 3 scripts within these past 4 years, but I never really finished the script. So I'm like, you know what? Coming into the new 2022 year, I want to merge all the scripts that I've already written into one. So yeah, there's a lot of story to tell based off the 4 scripts that I initially started on.
So you got a lot more in the bag. Are they fan films or some of them original ideas? Or a little bit of both?
Some do merge from original ideas, and a lot of them are, from, of course, the films. So one of them I particularly started on the script of when I originally had it called Crystal Lake Wasteland. Now that was originally taking some ideas from what was that? Teenage Wasteland. I believe it was the second installment for the film that Felicia Rose starred in when she was a kid.
Sleepaway Camp?
Sleepaway Camp, that's the title, yes. Sleepaway Camp, Teenage Wasteland. So I took some inspiration from that when I originally wrote my Crystal Lake Wasteland film. Crystal Lake, a whole lot of kids at Crystal Lake just partying, they're raving, doing drugs, having sex, and they're getting slaughtered. There's the big old rave scene. So I took the rave scene from that script and added it all to my Multiverse of Jason script.
Well, you need a big party to get that bloodbath going.
Yeah.
You got to have that ultimate scene. It sounds like you're going to need a few of those scenes where it's just a lot of these people coming together, and a rave is a good way to bring a lot of people together for sure.
Yeah, so that's going to be the part for a lot of, the extras and the sides and the main who may survive towards the end of the film. So that's going to be the biggest scene that we're going to work on. It may be the first scene that we work on to get it out the way first.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you're just going to really start this off kind of going strong, huh? You're not going to flesh it out with a nice, beautiful scene. Maybe a beautiful scene leading into the rave, but it's going to start pretty action-packed right away with the rave.
So I figure I will work my way backwards due to the time span that I'm looking at on filming, because depend on the campsite that we're going to be filming at, and the duration that I'm looking at, which would be a total of 10 days that we're going to be filming, maybe longer. Not sure right now. Still working out the kinks with that one. Like I said, on the duration of what the campsite directors say, and that's how we're going to move forward with that. But yeah, I'm going to be for me, I'm going to be shooting backwards, starting off with that particular scene for the film, because that's the scene that has the most interactions, all the moving parts and pieces, and a lot of blood that's going to be needed. Because I'm going to have people on set, you know, that's going to be needed as by day. Not everybody on set at the same time, the same hour. It's going to be blocked scheduling.
Yeah, I'm interested. And you said you're planning on filming the trailer, the teaser trailer. You got an idea how you want to do a teaser trailer, like
the teaser trailer? We're gonna be shooting that April 21st through the 24th, and it's basically gonna be we're gonna do a B-roll footage over the campsite, and we're gonna have the counselors I'm gonna have there. You know, they're gonna be around the campfire singing the Highwayman song, Michael Roybo the Short. So in the midst of them doing that, I'm also for the main camera roll, for the first camera roll, B camera is gonna be on me and the other director. We're gonna be, you know, letting our audience know of the film that we're doing, and getting the Indiegogo process started. And also behind us, we will have a few actors, two in particular. One is Peter Hans, as you know him from Bloody Flicks. He's playing himself in the film. So he's gonna be one of the guys running around from the three Jasons, trying not to be killed. So yeah, he's gonna like walk up to Danielle, you know, like, hey, you know, can you help me? They're coming after me. We gotta get up out of here. So the trailer is gonna be like a quick 3-minute trailer to sum up, you know, what we're doing, what we're looking for, how you as fans of the franchise can contribute towards the production. We have these awesome perks coming up that you guys can, you know, partake in and purchase just to help us out. And in return, we're gonna deliver you the best fantasy horror Friday the 13th production that we can.
Okay, so you're gonna, and I've seen quite a few people doing this lately, which I think is a pretty cool way to promote a film, is have you on, give a good narration, a description of what people should be ready for, introduce them to the cast, and kind of explain not too much, but enough to get people interested in what you're trying to bring, which is going to obviously take a solid budget, a solid indie campaign, solid perks, which is going to go a long way to make sure the investors come there, so you can put together a film with a budget that's needed to complete it successfully. Because that's huge.
So a few people had asked me, you know, within my process of starting this production, when are you planning on to release the film? So as you guys know, doing a production, it takes time, especially in post-production. You never really want to put a time frame on that because you never know how long it will actually take. But for me, I'm going on a 2-year span with this entire production. So we're going to start filming in August of 2023, I'm looking at August 21st through September 1st. So those 10 days right there. Now we have to do reshoots within, you know, that time frame between August through October, or do pickup shots within 2024, then we can. But principal photography and filming would definitely be in August through September. So for me, I've already have a mindset on when I want to release the film, which will be September 13th, 2024. So that'll be a day after my birthday, which will be a special gift not only to myself. So you know, that's a perfect release date because it's a Friday the 13th.
Oh wow.
There you go. So we're almost at an hour. I want to give everybody a chance to say their final words. I wish I could go longer. Unfortunately, I got to get up super early tomorrow. It's been a blast having you guys on, Maurice. It's been awesome having you on the show. I'm excited for the multiverse of Jason. I'm excited to see all you guys and what you guys deliver. Essential Strong, Daniel Patton, and of course you, Maurice, and Joe, who was having some connection problems. Looking forward to seeing him in the film. With a beard like that, you know he's got to be a badass. So, but let everybody know what you're working on, what we could see you in before we even see you at Multi. Feel free to promote what you guys got. Same with you, Maurice, Sensual, and we'll be rooting for you over at Doomsday's Krypt, and I want to see you guys have a successful campaign for this project.
Okay, so I'll let the lady start first.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have 3 things in post-production for my company. It's called Dwarf Star Films, and I have something called The Sleepover. We just won our first 2 awards for that at the Las Vegas 49-Hour Film Festival. So I'm really excited. That was my first 2 awards as a director. So I'm really proud of that. And it's an all-female cast, all female directed. So I'm really proud of that. And I have 4 videos or 4 short films and features coming out next year that I acted in and I was an extra in. That's kind of about it right now.
Busy. Congratulations on that. I guess we'll go Essential Strong. He's been sitting there patiently. Let's see what you got going, buddy.
Outside of this film, I'm still a college student. So I'm still in school. Doing my major is human resources. I know it doesn't have much to do with filming, but that's something I'm doing aside. I'm still doing modeling shoots. I got a catalog with my modeling pictures. So far, I got 300 pictures. So that's going well. And yeah, I'm still college, still doing modeling shoots. I'm a manager too. And yeah, I'm just young, thriving, and I'm hungry for any opportunity that I get.
Well, congratulations on the role in Multiverse of Jason, and best of luck with your modeling career, your acting career, and in college especially. Always good to have that college degree. And Maurice, I'll leave you with the final words.
Okay, so just like Danielle, I do have a few productions I am working on. One that is in post because I'm working with CJ Vecchia with The Evil 3. So, his project is in post-production. So once that finishes up, I think he said a release date in May. I have to double check on that. And if he's watching, I'm sure he'll correct me on that. But outside of The Evil 3, I have 2 other projects that I'm going to be focusing on in between time before we start filming for the Multiverse of Jason. So I'm doing a concept trailer for my other fan film, a Harry Potter fan film that I'm working on outside of doing the Multiverse of Jason. And I am doing my concept trailer in June of next year. So there's that one with the Harry Potter production. And if one of my other directors, if he's bringing up his production of Power Ranger production that he's working on, called Power Rangers Jurassic Legacy. That is by Tajay Sullivan, who's the director and the writer producer on that project. So when he gets that, he's gonna notify me. If we're gonna run with it, we're gonna run with it, and we're gonna shoot an episode next summer. I'm not sure where he's at with that right now. I have to reconnect with him on that. But other than that, my last and final project that I have in mind is going back with my good friend, my good brother, the director who brought me up into what I'm doing. His name is Arkir Burden, and he's working on a film and a film series called Confusion, which is a film about bounty hunters, witches, and warlocks, and voodoo priests here in Chicago. There's a Chicago-based original film that he created. So we're looking at getting back into production with that next year. If not next year, then 2024. But we're going back to the drawing board with that so we can get some good work in with that production. So yeah, those are the 3 productions that I have in mind for between next year and 2024. So that's the Harry Potter fan film, the Power Ranger fan series, and the Confusion film with Arceus.
Awesome. Sounds like everybody you've brought on tonight, including yourself, has a busy 2023 coming up. I'm wishing you all the best. Joe, who was on the panel too, wishing you the best as well. I think you guys all got amazing careers ahead of you. I'm looking forward to all your projects. Keep me updated so I know, so I can check out everything you guys are doing. And thank you, chat. Thank you guys for being here again. I'm not sure what's coming up this coming weekend or this week. I do have some masks to unbox. I might do Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, depending. For my buddy Daniel Cruz, I got a Art the Clown, a Halloween Part 6, and a Blood Tears to unbox. But thank you guys again. Thank you, chat. And we'll see you soon. Peace out.
All right. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice to meet
Thank you. Nice to meet you guys.